said, and let me share the screen. Right, okay. Okay, let me go to the server. Yes, okay, so you can see the commands in case in the 57 session. Okay, in the 57 session, imagine I didn't run this session, right? Imagine here I'm running a select query. Select star from sys dot sys processes. Okay, in case I'm running this session, this query in the 57 session. So if you see here, okay, if you see here, if you run the query again, okay, if you see here under 57 session, okay, under 57 session, you can see the select query. Means I just run the select query here. 57 is not updated. Okay, so usually what you can see is, okay, you can see the query, just first word of that particular query. Okay, you can see the first word of that particular query. So in case if you're running select query or insert query, update query, delete query, you can see under command section, select into means that is a stored proc. Okay, so you're running select into means, see here under sp5, sorry, under 55 session, you can see sp underscore who2 I'm running, and you can see select into under 55 session, select into you can see, and under session you can see some of the sessions are sleeping sessions, some of them are running sessions, some of them are background sessions, some of them are runnable sessions. So different sessions will be there under status of each session, and you can see what is the CPU time it is taking, each session is taking, what is the disk I/O it is taking, through which program name, it is also important. Okay, through which program name the particular user is running these sessions. Okay, through which program name means the application that is used by the user. Some users directly connected to the SQL server and using query window they can run the sessions. Some user from different applications they can connect and they can run. Some reporting services are connected to the server, so based on the reporting services again a sessions will open here, and some of the sessions will run from the SQL server jobs like agents and all, SQL server job agents and all. So you can easily check the program name. Okay, so some of the jobs are from SQL agent, some of the jobs are some of the sessions are from query window. So like that, from which program, sometimes you can see the application, specific application here. Maybe the user is connected through Java application, or maybe the user is connected through .NET application, is doing something. Then you can easily understand from which client he connected to this particular SQL server and how come he is running. If he is simply running a query, that means he directly connected to the SSMS and he is running the query. If you see any specific application name, that means the user is running queries from a specific application. Those things also you can see under the program name. So the main thing is, sometimes yes, we have to kill the sessions. Okay,
Just a quick question here, Shyam.
yes,
You just running this query just to check what exactly is happening, what
yes, yes.
exactly which person is doing. It's
Hmm.
just the overview of everything. And
Yes,
if you see anything suspicious, and then you can just maybe, as you said, kill the session, or
yes, yes,
that kind of. But otherwise, this is just giving you the whole information. That's
yes,
it.
yes, that's it. Okay, sometimes yes, we have to kill the sessions, like not suspicious. Okay, but sometimes if the users, okay, money is running a very long query which leads to lot of blockings, so all the resources are used by money. So what happened is, his query is running since 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, which is blocking all other processes. So as a DB, I have to check why money's query is taking longer time, and in case if money is okay, I'm going to kill money's session. Don't think like only for suspicious things we have to kill. Depends
I
upon
have
the
a
requirement. Yes, depends upon the requirement, we can kill the sessions of other users which leads to performance things. Okay, performance related issues and all. Yes, money.
yes, sir. We can able to see the data on database level only. We can see, right, sir? Here, what are the sessions and how many users are there
Not
on
like that.
database
See,
level.
each session will run on any database, right? Logically, each session should run on any database, right? Either it may be a master, either it may be a temp, either it may be a user database.
Yes, sir.
Logically means there is no database level sessions. These are all server level sessions only. but each session will run on any database. That's for sure. Why? Because
Yes,
while
sir.
running the query, it is important to select the database. If you don't select the database, automatically it will run on system database, master database.
Yes, sir. Can we find on a single stored proc how many sessions are there?
On a single stored proc.
If suppose if suppose 5 members are using the same stored proc, can we see them with sessions?
You can see what in whatever way you want, you can see it. Okay, you can go with why, because SP_Who2 doesn't accept any parameters. Go with select star from sys.sys processes. In such case, you want to see who are running this particular stored proc, then you have to add where condition here. Depends upon the where condition also, you can see. Okay, we have already discussed, right, how to use where conditions and all. In case 2 people or 3 people are using the same
Yes,
query,
yes.
okay, same stored proc, then you can simply mention where command name that particular stored proc you are going to give. Automatically you can see who are running the particular stored proc, you can see using that particular query.
Yes, sir. Can you please complete that query, sir?
No, there is no queries.
I
Stored
can note
process
it.
currently running, right? So that is your specific requirement that can be discussed later. Okay, as of now there are no stored procs running multiple ways, right? Did you see any stored procs are running
No,
currently?
sir.
If there are no stored procs running, what data I can filter, what data I can pull it? Even I also have to write the query, custom query. Okay, I have to check under which column I can find the command. Okay,
Yes, sir.
this is a command column. Okay, under command column, what I have to do is, okay, where CMD, say for example, I want to see select query. Okay, I want to see those who are running only select statement. Where the column name is CMD, right, is equal to, okay, simply select.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if we complete it, so I can see those who are all running select queries. Currently only one person is running select query, so you can see select here. Okay, where is that select? In case you have a specific requirement, specific stored proc, you can mention the specific stored. Why? Because stored proc, sometimes very small stored procs will be there, like SP_Who2. Sometimes very big stored procs will be there. Then in that case, okay, you have to simply filter whatever you want. Now I want to see only select queries. I can run this command, where command is equal to select. So I can see who are all running select queries in my SQL Server.
Yes, sir.
Okay, clear? Any doubts, any issues? Yes, the main purpose is I just want to
Yes,
show
sir.
you
Yes,
all
sir.
the processes. Okay, so I want to see all the processes. I can use either SP_Who2 stored proc, or else I can use select star from sys.sys processes stored proc also. By using those two stored procs, you can easily find out, you can easily track how many processes are running. Okay, how many sessions are running, who are running those sessions, what kind of things they are running, whether any blockings are there, everything we can check using this select star from sys.sys process or SP_Who2. Okay, so in case why we need
What is the
this,
what is the difference between both SP_Who2 and the
depends,
processes
some
one?
columns, extra columns here you can see, just compare the columns. Sometimes you can see SPID status, login, host name blocked by. Here you can see the different names, same as some of the columns are
What is
common.
KPID?
KP means each session, in case if it needs processes, say for example, one processes may have different okay, child processes. Okay, depends upon your requirement. One processes may have multiple child processes, right? Those child processes can be referred as KPIDs.
But
Okay,
how?
that can be, forget about it. We are not discussing, this is a performance tuning related topic. Okay, as of now, okay, just try to understand how to see
Okay.
the processes. Okay, how to see the processes, how can we see all the processes, what is running under process, who is running under process, on what database running on that particular process. So you can use
Right.
either SP_Who2 or select star from sys.sys process. If you have a time,
Right.
compare the columns here and there, SP_Who2 and
Yeah.
select star from sys.sys process. Some columns can be tracked by SP_Who2, some columns can be tracked by select star from sys.sys processes. Okay, so in
Right.
such case, you can do a small homework on this. Okay, right. So the
Okay.
main thing is a process admin who can kill any processes. You think that process is suspicious, you think other process is taking longer than expected, then in that case, as a DBA, we have to kill the processes, or else we'll get a request from the users. Hey, please kill this process, or please kill this particular process. Please end this process. Like that, you are going to get the request from the users. Please kill session ID 114. Please kill session ID 127. Please kill session ID 42. How to kill session ID 42?
C42.
Kill 42. How to kill a session? I
Kill
want to
and session ID.
kill session ID. Okay. Kill 56. So in such way, I can kill 42 also, right? So remember, you cannot kill background processes. What are the background processes? Processes from 1 to 50 are background processes. Okay, it won't allow us to kill background processes. Only user processes can be killed. Okay, so 1 to 50, if you run, it will throw the error. In case you want to kill background processes kill one, it won't allow you to kill one. Why? Because there is a background processes. You are not an authorized person to kill background one. Why?
So
Because
when you say background, you mean the processes which kind of automatically get started
yes,
when
yes,
okay.
yes. See, SQL Server is a process, right? SQL Server is a
Yeah.
software. To run that software, some background processes will help, right? Those
Yeah,
background
they are
processes.
default.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, all processes are background processes only. If it doesn't belongs to us, right? So, but what background refers to is background refers to the internal processes of a SQL Server, which helps to run the SQL Server in the background. Got it? So you cannot kill 1 to 50 sessions. Okay, you can kill only from 51 onwards. Like maximum is 32,767 sessions you can open. Again, the magic number. So you can kill whatever sessions you want from 51 onwards. Up to 50, you cannot kill the sessions. Okay, who can kill the sessions?
System admin can kill that session and
authorized persons, sir.
Authorized person. Who is
Sysadmin.
sysadmin?
and process
Sysadmin.
and
Okay.
who ran that process.
Okay, very good. Okay, who ran that process? Of course, yes. In case Money is running one session 56, he can kill his own process, or else anyone can kill his process, or else like a process admin, a member of process admin also can kill particular Money session. Okay, so here
So
two
just a
persons.
question.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Just a question. So when we are killing the process, for example, if we are killing Money's process, if he is running queries, which is taking time, if we kill that process, that's going to affect that query as well.
Of course, yes.
So
If I kill anyone, is it going to affect his life?
no, but the query is going to stop, right?
Yes, that's why we are killing the session, right? That is the main purpose why his query is creating a lot of disturbances. His query is using all the resources. So I want to kill the session, so his query will be killed. Whatever he is running, it will be killed. The process will be stopped.
Okay.
Okay. So
Sir,
then in that case, yes,
up to 50 background processes, all should be run, or it may
no. Again, very good question. Don't think like all will run. Mostly 1 to 40 will run. Okay, if you see here. Okay,
Yeah, some numbers are missing.
Yeah,
I observed that.
some of the process will it run whenever it need. That's it. Don't think like all 50 by default they are going to run. Okay, some of the processes will run. Some of the processes will run whenever needed. That's it. See here from 46 there is no 44, 45. From 46 to 50 those are missing. But don't think like they are missing. There is no need of running the processes now. Maybe it may run later.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Shanmugh,
Yes.
I have a small query.
Yes.
As you said, there are 3,000 plus.
Hello. Hello, Ankam. I cannot hear you.
Process we can run at a time.
Sorry, I completely missed you. Okay, your voice is breaking.
Now it is okay.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
See, like a long running time process, we can filter here.
We can long running process, we can filter.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, from last 2 days onwards, there is one process is running.
Mm-mm.
Due to that,
Ankam, your voice is breaking, but what I understood is, can we find out the long running processes? Yes, we can find out the long running processes. What we can do usually in the
Hello.
organization. Yes, Ankam. Okay, your voice is completely
Yeah.
breaking, but what I understood is, can we find out the long running sessions, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Okay, so you can find it using sp underscore who is active. This is a custom stored proc. Okay, just go and search sp underscore who is active in the Google. This is an excellent stored proc. It will give you, it won't come by default. You have to create the stored proc manually. So if you just type this sp underscore who is active in the Google, you will get a stored proc. Okay, script. Copy that script, execute in your SQL server, which will create sp underscore who is active stored proc. If you run it, lot of useful columns are there. It will show you since how many days that is running. Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you the small example. Okay, let me open Google. Okay, sp underscore who is active. Okay, let me go with the images. I'll show you the output, just a small output example for that. Okay, if you see, if you remember, if you can see this image. Okay, let me go down, go down, go down, go down. Yeah, so if you see here, if you run that stored proc sp underscore who is active, see here, since how many days, how many hours, how many minutes, how many seconds, how many milliseconds that query is running. It will, by default, it will give you a descending order, I guess. Okay, since 21 days these queries are running. Since 21 days these queries are running. So automatically, if query is running since 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, we can treat those queries as long running queries or long running sessions, right? So here also you can see, if you run this sp underscore who is active, but by default this stored proc won't be created. You have to create by using a custom scripts from the Google. Okay, once you run, once it was created, once you run it, you can easily find out, okay, since how many days it is running, what is the session ID it is using. SQL test means what is the query. Under SQL test column, you can find out which query it is currently running in that particular session, and who is running this, and what is the wait types and all. You won't understood now. There is a different session, separate session on that wait types, on what resource it is waiting. Each session will wait on some resources. Those those things are called wait types. On what wait types it is waiting. Okay, and CPU, how much CPU it is taking, how much TempDB allocations it is taking. If any blocking sessions are there, what is the blocking session ID, how many reads it is doing, how many writes it is doing, how many physical reads. Like that, you will have some 20 to 25 columns. It will give you a lot of information. But for that, what you can do is try creating sp underscore who is active, so that it will help you. Okay, do we need permissions to create sp on production? Yes, of course, Srikanth. As a DBS, okay, we will have all the permissions. Okay, we are sysadmin, right? So, but don't think if you have all the permissions, don't think you can create whatever you want. All permissions are there to use for the good cause, not for the bad cause. In case if any user is requesting to create a stored procedure, then we can raise a change request. There is a protocol. You have to raise, you have to ask the user to raise a change request. Once change is approved, he is going to give some script to create. So we'll simply run that script so that it is going to create stored procedure on production servers. Okay, yes, we can create stored procs on production servers, depends upon the requirement. Okay, Srikanth, fine. Yes, right. So the main discussion is like, I want to show you how to kill a process. In case I want to kill a process, just kill a session ID. The command is kill session ID. So just mention the kill session ID, and if you run it, you can see command completed successfully. So you can see session ID 56 will be killed. In case I want to kill, okay, 109, can I kill this 109 session? Can I
So
kill?
there is
Yeah, if
no
it's
one
there.
No.
Yes, very good. If it's there, I can kill it. If it's not there, process ID 109 is not an active process
Yeah.
ID. Means that
Yeah.
that means there is no session ID 109. But again,
Mhm.
don't think like if simply like it is running since 2 hours, 3 hours, so that you are an authorized person to kill the session. Nothing like that. Okay, if user is agreed, then only you can kill the sessions. If
So
user
we
is
need to
not
double
agreed,
check who is.
yes,
So
we
we
have
need
to
to
double check.
who is running a query.
Yes.
Right.
You can see under SP_, who to login name. Okay, under
Yeah.
login name, you can easily check who is running the query. So you have to ask him, hey, your query is taking longer than expected, which is consuming all the resources. Okay, can
Yeah.
you please allow me to kill the session, or can you
Yeah.
please kill from your side, so that he is going to agree.
Yeah.
If he said no, that is an important session, I am giving presentation to the clients which is running from the SSRS reports, so don't kill the sessions. Sometimes this will happen,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Clients will come to our company, our employee will give the presentation from using SSRS reports and all to show you the company performance. So in such case, if it is taking longer than expected, if you kill it, the session will be killed. That particular person who is giving the presentation, his session will be killed. He may upset, the clients may upset, so that you may lose the business. You are thinking that is a simple query kill with 4 letters, but your kill can kill the company performance. Okay, so don't expect like every time you can kill the processes. There is a protocol. Again, you have to follow the protocols. You have to ask the user, hey user, can I kill the session which is taking longer than expected, or it is consuming all the resources? Then if user is okay, you can proceed to kill. If user is not okay, don't kill it, go for alternatives. Okay, clear? Fine. So right, so a person of sysadmin and a person of process admin can kill the sessions. Okay, let me go to the other role. Okay, process admin. Then public does, in case you want to search what public will have, you will get an error. Public is not a known fixed server role. Public is not a known. 8 roles are fixed server roles, means the permissions are fixed. I told you again, fixed server roles means what are the permissions are there to those roles are fixed. Public, it doesn't treat as a role. Okay, public, it doesn't treat as a role. By default, each login is a member of public server role. You cannot uncheck or you cannot check that option. By default, each one will have public server role. So public role doesn't have any permission. Then security admin also, if you see, can anyone guess what a security admin can do? What a security admin can do? Okay.
Read, write, what kind of permissions somebody needs.
Okay, what security deals here? What you can see, what and all components you can see under security?
Logins,
Very good.
server
Logins,
roles,
server roles, right?
server role credentials. Yeah.
Yes, very good. So security admin deals creating logins, dropping the
Right.
logins, changing the passwords of existing logins. I have a question for all of you. Okay, right? Money is a sysadmin. Honey is a security admin. Money is a sysadmin. Honey is a security admin. Okay, means Money is a member of sysadmin role. Honey is a member of security admin role. Remember, okay, listen carefully. Can Money kill? Can Honey kill Money session or not? Honey is a security admin. Money is a sysadmin. Can Honey kill Money session or not?
No.
Yes. Yes.
I need answers from everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I need participation from everyone. Okay, I'll ask one by one. Vishnu, yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So forget about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, don't mind. Vishnu, one more Vishnu is there. Vishnu, yes or no? Yes. Okay. Sudarshan,
Yes, sir.
Money,
No, sir.
Money,
No.
no. Okay. Anil,
No.
okay.
Repeat your question.
Can a security admin kill sysadmin session? Forget about Honey, Money. Can a security admin who is having less permissions can kill sysadmin session?
No, sir.
No. You have asked like a different, right? Can system admin kill security admin permissions? You have asked in past like that.
Okay, but a security admin cannot kill system admin permissions or sessions, right?
Yeah, security admin cannot kill.
Okay,
System admin is the boss, right?
okay. Okay, fine. Okay, that is the assignment question for today. Okay, please find out, please check it. Okay, please practice it. Don't search in the Google. I need an answer. You have to try it. Create 2 logins. Okay, add one into security admin, add another person into sysadmin, login as a security admin, try to kill the sysadmin and let me know the result, whether he can kill or he can't kill. Okay, right, let it be. The answer I want to know from you in the next class. Okay, that is the assignment question. Yes, security admin by default lot of permissions will be there, like around 16 permissions are there. The main permissions are, yes, a member of security admin can add another login to the same security admin role by default, and a member of security admin can create the logins, can delete the logins, can rename the logins. Okay, a member of security admin, what he can do, can create logins, can delete logins, can rename logins, can change the passwords of other logins as well. Okay, a member of security admin, a member of security admin, okay, what he can do, he can create new logins, he can delete the existing logins, he can change the passwords of other logins. These are the main permissions of a security admin. Again, there is a question for all of you. Okay, right, here we have created Anil, right? Anil, I guess, I don't think he has permissions. Let me check. Anil is a member of which server role? No, Anil is not a member of any server role. Let me connect as Anil now. Okay, Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication, Anil, and his password is 123. Yes, I have connected. Okay, like Anil. Now, if I expand security, if I expand logins, I cannot see other logins. Why I cannot see other logins? Anil can see only his login and SC login. Anil cannot see other logins. Why?
Because he's not an he's not an administrator. He can just
He's
see
not an authorized person to
he's not an authorized,
see
yeah.
this.
Okay, he's not an
Because
authorized
he's
person
just
to
not
see other
logged in.
logins. Okay,
And only sysadmin can see all the logins.
okay, only sysadmin can see all the logins, right? Other than sysadmin, other person also can see all the logins. Who is that?
Yes, sir,
People who
Windows
are part of that
Hmm.
sysadmin group.
administrator.
Apart from sysadmin, administrator means what? Sysadmin only administrator. Apart from sysadmin, who can see all the logins? Someone is saying something, I can't hear them.
Security admin.
Very good.
Security admin.
Okay, a secure, why? Because security admin always deals with the logins, right? Let me add Anil into the security admin. Double click on Anil. Again, Anil can't add himself into the security admin role. Check here, I am adding as an administrator, I am adding Anil into security admin. Okay, here administrator is adding Anil into the security admin role. Okay, don't think like Anil is giving permissions by himself, otherwise there is no security. If you can give your own permissions, what is the need of the DBA? You can do whatever you want, you can give yourself, you can treat yourself as a sysadmin and you can delete everything. Okay, so no one can, okay, get the permissions from themselves. They have to request a sysadmin, so that sysadmin only can give. As administrator is a sysadmin, so I can see all the logins. So in case I want to add Anil, go to Anil, double click on Anil. Okay, go to server roles, add him into the process admin, click OK. Earlier Anil can't see all the logins, right? Now if you refresh, okay, see here, if you refresh now, or else just refresh the whole server and security and logins, still why Anil can't say? Anil only, right? I gave the permissions.
So you have added process admin, not security.
Oh, process admin. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah. Server roles. Okay. I'm sorry for that. Security admin. Okay. Just click OK. Right. Now, if you see here, okay. Now, if you just refresh, now Anil can see all the logins now. Okay. So a member of security admin. Why? Because Anil, security admin, is going to deal with the logins. He can create new logins, he can drop the logins, he can reset the passwords of the logins. So in such case, he has to know what and all logins are there, right? So that's why a member of sysadmin and a member of security admin can see all the logins list. Okay, so now Anil can add another member into this particular server role, security admin, and Anil can create new logins, Anil can drop the new logins, Anil can reset the password of the logins as well. Again, one more question. Okay, the same question like process admin. Can a security admin drop the sysadmin login or not? A security
he can.
admin can drop sysadmin login. True or false? A security admin drop the sysadmin login, or a security admin reset the password of sysadmin login. True or false?
True.
True, sir.
True, sir.
True. Everyone is true only. I'm
Yeah,
not
sir.
asking vice versa. A sysadmin can drop security admin. No, I'm asking reverse. Can a security admin drop sysadmin login or not?
Sysadmin login is something which we really need, when we are running on a SQL, because
Okay,
that person
if you
have
have
all
multiple
the.
sysadmins, if you have multiple
Yeah,
sysadmins,
the security admin can, obviously there could be many reasons, security breaches or something like that.
Mhm.
Security admin can reset the password and can drop the person from the sysadmin role as well. Yes,
Okay.
security admin can.
Okay. So again, this is also yes. Any other answers?
Yes, sir. Security admin having the permission to do that.
If security admin can drop sysadmin login, why can't a process admin can kill sysadmin session?
Process admin or security admin?
Yeah, both. Say in case here security admin, you are saying security admin can drop the sysadmin login, means can delete the sysadmin login, right? So
Yeah.
if that is true, why can't a process admin can kill the sysadmin session?
Because of they don't have permission, sir. That permission.
Okay, so process admin doesn't have permissions to kill the sysadmin session, right?
Yes, sir.
But security admin have permissions to delete the sysadmin login.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so this is the assignment questions. These are the assignment questions for tomorrow's session. A process admin can kill sysadmin session or not? First question. A security admin can delete the sysadmin login or can reset the password of the sysadmin login or not? Okay, this is the second question. Right. Let me know the answers for tomorrow's session. Okay. So after security admin, okay, let's discuss the other server role we have. What is the other server role? Setup admin, server admin. Okay. So server admin will have only one permission, that is a shutdown permission. Okay. Yeah, multiple permissions, but the important permission is shutdown permission. So a member of server admin can add another member to the server admin role. Okay, and he can run dbcc free proc cache. This is a command, dbcc command, which will help to delete the plans in the plan cache of SQL Server. Okay, forget about it as of now. We don't need this one. Okay, reconfigure. You can change the SQL Server settings using queries sp_configure option. So sp_configure option needs reconfigure option to save the settings permanently. And these are some full text service and table options. And you can see the main permission is shutdown permission. A member of don't give this permission to anyone until you don't have proper approvals. A member of server admin can shut down your SQL Server. A member of server admin can shut down your SQL Server. So apart from server admin, who can shut down the SQL Server?
Server admin.
Apart from server admin,
System admin.
sysadmin can
System admin can.
Sysadmin.
sysadmin can kill the SQL Server. So here I'll tell you a small concept in how many ways we can restart the SQL Server. Can anyone tell me how many ways we can restart the SQL Server? I want to restart the SQL Server, or else I want to stop and start the SQL Server. How many ways we can do that?
By using query, and we can do it manually.
What query you are going to use?
By right clicking, you can
Okay, very good. Right click here and you can see restart option.
on top of
Okay,
it.
Restart.
Yeah.
that's
On
fine.
top of it, it is a connection.
What one?
On top of it, it is connection. Connection. There
This
is
one,
one.
this one.
Yeah.
Guys, there is a difference between shutdown and this one. Okay,
Disconnect.
this is going to simply disconnect. Nothing. Okay, your SQL Server will be up and running in the background. Again, don't think like this, guys. If you close Management Studio, nothing will happen. Management Studio is just a client. Imagine you are using WhatsApp. Currently, you are using WhatsApp and you are getting messages. But After some time, you are not using your phone. Okay, you just keep your phone aside. But don't you get your WhatsApp messages in case if you are getting any messages?
Yeah, we can
WhatsApp will run in the background. In case if you don't use the phone also, if someone sends money to you, you will get a transaction, you'll get a money using phone pay. Why? Because those apps will run in the background. Don't think only while using the phone those apps are running. Only while opening the phone those apps are running. In the same way, SQL Server should run 24/7. SSMS is just a tool to connect to the existing instances, running instances. Don't think if I close my SSMS, SQL Server will shut down. No. Okay, processes will be closed. Whatever processes you opened, all the processes will be closed, but other background processes will run. As just now we have discussed about the processes, right? Whatever processes that are running, in case if you close it, okay, all the processes, whatever processes you are running, those processes will be closed, but other processes, imagine, okay, other users are connected to the same instance and they are running something, those processes will be up and running. Okay, the meeting is going to close now. Let me reopen the meeting. Okay, please join with the same meeting link.